Welcome to yet another fabulous Sunday night news and nonsense, where I get to be the saint and Toss gets to be the sinner. How you doing, Toss?
Sounds like you had lots of coffee.
Actually, it's this highly caffeinated tea that I'm having tonight. But actually, I've been cutting back a little bit on tea and that sort of thing. You said you had an announcement for us today.
Yes, I received a personal message from our good friend from Australia. Do you know who that is? IG.
Oh, IG, yeah.
Infinitely Galactic will be joining us, I hope, the weekend of somewhere around the 15th, 16th, 17th, the Sunday night, our time. Of course, he's a day ahead. He says he would love to be on the LDC. I think what we'll do, Spatry, I'll pick the topic, something for the Windows users. I mean, like we always say, Windows users are welcome, but how often? And this is why we don't do stuff for Windows users.
Okay. Hey, it would be great to have IG on the show. We haven't heard from him in a while, so that's a wonderful thing. So cool deal. And
Yes.
Since we're talking about upcoming shows, this is in the news. Manjaro just released the 089 release candidates. Currently, what's available is the LXDE version, the KDE version, and then, of course, the open box is available, and the XFCE editions. A lot of new changes are being brought to the table. And so next Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, UTC -5, the Linux Distro Community and Spatry's Cup of Linux will be presenting the Linux Zoo Crew. And I've invited the developers, some contributors, and that sort of thing. We're also going to have our usual panel of people on the show, and we're going to talk about all the great innovations and everything that Manjaro is bringing to the table in terms of user friendliness. So it should be an interesting discussion. I will be putting that message up on G Plus so that you guys are kept up to date and that sort of thing. That way you'll get your notifications so you know when the show's starting. It should be a big show and lots of fun.
Nice. I'll be too busy. I can't make it. I'll be too busy having fun compiling my Linux video drivers.
Right. Well, Kurt had to say the LXDE version isn't working, but you know what? I'll have to put that to the test myself and see just how well it's working. Well, Toss, here's something in the news. Google Glass has been making a lot of news over the past year, and it appears AMC Movie Theater calls federal agents to arrest a Google Glass user. Now, get this, Toss. This user didn't even have the glasses turned on because his lenses, he had prescription lenses on this thing.
Aha.
1 hour into this movie the guy was watching, some agents came in, flashed a badge, and dragged the guy into 4 hours of interrogation when they could have just saved all that trouble by just doing what the guy initially asked him and saying, hey, just plug the USB device into your computer. You'll see there's a picture of my wife, my dog, and that sort of thing. And, they only gave him 4 movie theater tickets for all that time, trouble, and humiliation those people put him through. What is this country coming to? It's like, it's like, the movie association, now has these agents going out and attacking people. Hey?
Well, I think those Google Glasses were certified by the NSA, right?
Apparently, well, I don't know, but the thing is, the fear is, the justification was that this was in Columbus, Ohio. They figured that this movie, and I don't remember what the movie was, but they figured this movie was going to be targeted for potential piracy and that sort of thing. So they wanted to, yeah, exactly. And
I get it. Okay, fine.
Yeah, and Balmer Peak was going on to say that there was a woman that got a parking violation for having a visible monitor while wearing Google Glass. Now, keep in mind, kids, they're attacking all these people that are using Google Glass, and this really isn't available on the market right now.
Right.
There's only a limited number of people that are using these devices. They're paying exorbitant amounts of money for these devices, and then on top of it, they're getting harassed by people. I mean, not a really good play there.
Well, sometimes technology is not all that fun, is it?
Sometimes, yeah.
Well, speaking of fun, for those of you who like to tinker with the latest Ubuntu, there is an Alpha 2 release just released. If you guys like to mess around with it, not recommended for beginners. I'd wait till the next LTS coming out in April. So, and I think Spatry, the next LTS of Ubuntu will have something about an updated bleeding edge grub to help people dual boot with Windows 8. I believe it will be released as a beta, but if it really works, I think that'll make it much, much easier for people who would like to try it.
Yeah, and you can get more information on that on the web update site. I saw that article this morning, and I figured you would probably be the one to bring that up. So yeah, good news, cool. And hopefully, and that would be a really good thing, for helping people getting those dual boot situations going on, especially with Windows 8 and UEFI and all that other crapoly.
Right.
And speaking of Ubuntu-based distributions, of course, ParaOS is no longer available for download. And now the developer made an announcement on G+, stating that some, quote, large company went and bought this. And of course, I had a few interesting words to say about it myself on my forum. If you guys want to read it, definitely check out cupoflinux.com. It's in the forum, and you can see what my response is. But pretty much, I found the idea that some, quote, large company bought this to be very difficult to digest. I think it's more along the lines of maybe the developer, decided to abandon the project. I really don't know. But all I can do is wish them good luck, because whoever, if somebody actually did purchase this OS or the concept behind it or anything like that, it's my hope that they're going to be able to really take this distribution and really make something cool out of it, because it's always sad to see any Linux distribution, good or bad, leave us.
Right. Well, let me go ahead and stay with some Ubuntu news. Spatry, I have some very, very sad news for you. Ubuntu, it is official. Ubuntu Canonical makes it, they will not be producing a smartphone. I know you were hoping for the latest combination shaver smartphone. Ubuntu is...
Well, we can't forget the add-on that measures the certain health characteristics, right?
We will not go there, But
so they're not going to be. So I didn't see any articles to that effect, and I was reading a lot of news this week. So they've announced this is official. They're not going to be doing a phone then. Okay, apparently they're not making one yet.
Right. No, but they had signed, or not signed, but they were in talks with manufacturers for them to make one with the Ubuntu OS in the phone. Not being manufactured by Canonical, by some other companies, rather. I thought they were coming out this year. There was some news article not too long ago about Ubuntu phones coming this year with outside manufacturers. But alas, I believe the last thing I saw, nothing this year.
All right, cool deal. Looks like Netflix has a little bit in the news as well. Netflix ready to move the masses if ISPs violate net neutrality. Netflix is doing very good, and it's reflected in the Q4 reports they've released to the shareholders on January 22nd. Apart from the company's performance report, the document also contained Netflix's strong stand in favor of net neutrality. Now, Verizon successfully challenged the U.S. net neutrality rules, and the federal court has determined that it is not mandatory for internet service providers to treat all traffic equally, which means ISPs can make some traffic run faster or block some entirely, given that subscribers are informed about that. Netflix believes that the lack of neutrality poses serious threats to their operation. They fear ISPs can demand fees to allow Netflix traffic to flow smoothly through their networks. In principle, a domestic ISP can now legally impede the video streams that members request from Netflix, degrading the experience we jointly provide, Netflix has written in this document.
I did catch something about the net neutrality ruling. From what I understand, this is only like a partial verdict or victory or something. I think it's not over yet. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not, Spatry. We'll see what happens in the future. But From what I heard, I believe ISPs can charge what they want to charge based on usage or on particular usage of what you are using it for, like streaming movies. They may charge you more versus someone who does not, if I got it right. But yeah, this is not over yet.
But Ballmer did go on to comment that it could force people to be innovative with regard to network performance and efficiency. But the thing is, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think the internet, should remain neutral. Of course, how do you, define neutral? I'm not personally, I'm not 100% sure, but from what I heard and read, this still has a long way to go for like any kind of standard law, if there can be such a thing as a standard law for net neutrality. Yeah.
What you got, Toss?
Well, let me go ahead and let's see. Oh, one more thing. Ubuntu, the next Unity will have some kind of new window decorations. I think that's coming in the next Ubuntu release. But
yes, I read about that too.
Cool. So yeah, I just saw it briefly, and it will have new window decorations and something called new anti-lacing or anti-lacing. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right.
Anti-aliasing.
There we go. Yeah. What exactly is that, actually?
Okay, well, the thing is, I think it has to do with like the textures and that sort of thing. Anti-aliasing gives them a smoother appearance, and and so basically they're going to be doing some sharpening up the graphics and that sort of thing. And I believe that's also on the Unity bar, so that'll be interesting to see. Yeah,
I figured that's what it was. I wasn't sure, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I currently run Ubuntu 13.10 now. It seems quite stable, but of course, for newbies and beginners, you're best to go with an LTS release, which is due out this April.
Awesome.
Well, I have a couple small nonsense items, unless you have something else.
Oh, I've got a few more here. NSA.
Oh, did I have to ask?
The NSA. You knew that was coming at some point.
Yes.
U.S. Watchdog says NSA phone program is illegal. And what can be termed as the first comprehensive statement on NSA phone shopping activities, the U.S. Privacy and Civil Liberties Board has said that the bulk collection of phone records by NSA is illegal and should end.
Of course.
The bulk NSA phone metadata program has only had minimal impact on investigations related to terrorism, the independent federal agency declared. Also in related news, Republicans call for halt to unconstitutional surveillance programs. The Republican National Committee has passed a resolution that encourages Republican lawmakers to immediately take action to halt current unconstitutional surveillance programs and provide a full public accounting of the NSA's data collection program. So that should definitely bring, that should at least put some Americans' minds to ease. Hey?
Sounds like all the fun is in Washington, D.C., isn't it?
I'm telling you, but not necessarily there, too. NSA! Let's go to the other side of the globe. Russia plans to extend Edward Snowden's asylum, lawmaker says. This is from an article. This is the New York Times, actually. Davos, Switzerland. Russia plans to extend its offer of asylum to Edward J. Snowden beyond August, a Russian lawmaker said Friday at the World Economic Forum here. Lawmaker Alexei Pushkov, chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee in Russia's lower house of parliament, hinted during a panel discussion that the extension of temporary refugee status for Mr. Snowden, the former National Security Agency contractor, might be indefinite.
Well, all I could say is da, comrade.
Yeah, so all you got's nonsense then, Toss?
Yeah, we can finish up with a couple nonsense items since
okay.
I'm already fed up with the NSA already.
All right, I got a few other things I'll throw at you, and then we'll head over to the nonsense report.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. It looks like OpenGL 3.3 support is coming to Radeon SI Gallium 3D. Great for those of you who love your open source drivers. Open source AMD fans can rejoice this morning with the new set of Mesa and LLVM patches. There is OpenGL 3.3 and GLSL 1.50 support for the Radeon SI Gallium 3D driver. Also, Valve is paying it forward to Debian developers by offering free subscriptions. Valve software makers of SteamOS is already winning praise from the larger free and open source community, mainly because of their pro-community approach. Now the company is giving back to Debian by offering free subscription to Debian developers. This subscription will offer full access to current and future games produced by Valve. Since SteamOS is based on Debian GNU Linux, it's a nice way for Valve to say thank you to Debian developers.
Well, of course, Valve is part of the future of gaming for Linux, so I hope future good things come from the, Valve development team.
Absolutely. And then a little bit of news from Google. Google offers nearly $3 million in rewards for Pointium Hackathon. It's time to showcase your security skills again. Google has announced its Pointium 4 competition, offering a total of $2,718,000 in prizes for anyone who can crack its open browser-based operating system, Chrome OS. So for those of you hackers out there, you might want to check this out, and cool. Because they're offering $110,000 for a browser or system level compromise in guest mode or as a logged in user delivered via a web page. They're also offering $150,000 compromise with a device persistence guest to guest with interim reboot delivered via a web page. So interesting stuff, but something I'd like to note, it's worth mentioning here that no exploits for Chrome OS were found in 2013.
All right.
And now we're going to hand it over to Toss for the nonsense report.
Speaking of Google, actually, let me do this first, and then I'll talk some stuff about Google. This was actually sent to me. Yeah, this was sent to me either a message or a comment. But there was someone here giving advice to newbies about different operating systems. And this is brief, he was defining the difference between iOS, Windows, and Linux operating systems. Okay? Are you ready?
Yeah, all right. Go ahead.
He says, or she, I don't know, this person says, iOS is like shaving with a bowling ball. It hurts.
Okay.
Windows is like shaving with a modern razor. Comfortable, easy, but not as satisfying.
Okay.
Linux is shaving with an old-time razor, not as comfy, but so satisfying. Now, of course, my first reaction was, there's nothing like a bottle of baby oil, a nice, smooth bowling ball to shave your face with. I do that every day. I thought it was kind of cute the way this person said it. Obviously, you're not going to shave with the bowling ball. It hurts. But look, a lot of people like Apple iOS. I don't think it hurts personally, but hey, I just thought it was kind of cute the way he described it as something for newbies. Yeah,
well, that's just like just like my picture on the my G Plus page where the Windows logo shows Wall-E, and then of course under the Mac logo it shows Eve from the same movie, and then under the Linux logo it shows the Terminator.
The Terminator. Well, speaking of the Terminator, well, you remember, speaking of Google, this is the last nonsense. You remember several months ago all this. Well, that's our show, folks. Goodbye. The integration of YouTube and Google Plus. Do you remember that? Of course.
Yeah.
And some of you guys were freaking out, thinking it was like the end of the world, because what have they done? And it was like Terminator time. We must terminate Google because of the changes. YouTube changes.
Some of us are still ticked off about it. What are you talking about?
However, what I've noticed is remember I said, well, first of all, calm down. Let me take a look at this. I personally did not have issues with the integration of Google Plus and YouTube. What was not, shall I say, user-friendly was the commenting system. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was kind of like, and I was trying to be nice, just not user-friendly. Well, apparently Google has listened, because they said that the way people leave comments and reply they realized when that changed, that was kind of a bummer. And I'm quoting, now, at least on my channel, and if you don't see it, it is coming, but Google they do listen to its viewers. Some of you said no, but they do. The commenting system has been improved or somewhat changed to the way it was before. You can click on your channel, you can click, I believe, community, and to the left, you will have a section for comments, and you can reply to all the comments from there, either comments you want to reply to or comments that were left or potential spam, instead of having to go to your G+.
Awesome. It's about time they implemented that. And, we did concede, though, that that whether we liked the updates or not, they were necessary because they did have problems with trolling and that sort of thing in the system. And now, and as a result, they ushered in the comment filtering system where you can filter out the language and that sort of thing so that you don't have to immediately moderate. So having this addition, yes, I think this is a game winner, and I think it's a good idea. So kudos to G Plus or YouTube, I should say.
Well, look, I posted a video on this. I just flat out said thank you. It seemed in fact, it seems easier now because it's all on one page, But
absolutely, yeah.
Now they said other improvements will be coming. I should have had this written down, but I think it's a great start. So yes, Google, YouTube, they do listen. They want everyone to be as part of the community in a user-friendly way, and with the comments coming back. So kudos to Google, and as I said, thank you, Google.
Awesome stuff.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't you take us out, Toss?
Thanks, everybody here for joining us every week on the LDC, the Linux distro community. Thanks to Spatry. Don't forget to check out Spatry's channel and my channel. As a reminder, please vote for the best Linux DE, best Linux desktop environment. I will have links below. And if you have bought a new piece of technology that you like for both Linux and Windows, please let me know. It'll be in the same link below. Thanks once again to everybody who take the time out to listen every week. Next week, Spatry, you are having something on Manjaro. I don't think it's really for newbies. Okay, but of course, everybody's still welcome. Yeah. Yeah,
I've already invited the developer and a bunch of key players and that sort of thing. So we're going to be having that. And then, of course, next Sunday night is News and Nonsense, or you're going to be out.
Yeah, I have some family stuff to do next weekend, but February, Infinitely Galactic, I hope will join us from Australia, and we will do something for the Windows users, maybe like a PCA team. It's been a while. I know we always say Windows users are welcome, but we never really do something exclusively for them. We will do it, all three of us, as part of the A team. And whoever else that can get involved. I don't have a specific topic yet. Probably something to do with how to dual boot and how to get involved with Linux. I will have, as soon as I get confirmation from IG Spatry, I will let you know.
No problem, and I will let you guys know. So be sure that you are that you have me in your circles on G+, because I announce these as events. And that way, for those of you who have your mobile devices hooked up to your G+ account, it'll give you notifications to let you know when the show's going to be happening. So always good stuff. Once again, thank you, Voltem, the Linux distro community, and all of you who are listening to us live. Stick around for post-show conversation. Thank you, all of you, once again, and we will see you next time.
And since Spatry botched it up last week, I'll say correctly, arrivederci.
Today's show was brought to you by the Linux distro community. Visit us today at linuxdistrocommunity.com and chat with us on Mumble or in IRC on the Freenode network in the Linux Distro Community channel. The Linux Distro Community. Freedom through the sharing of knowledge.